Greetings, Internet. Welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well on this autumn morning. So I'm recording this episode of Plancenoit using VASSAL, and it's from the Last Eagles series. Well, this is actually from Fallen Eagles, which is the Battle of Waterloo box set from Hexasim. And it's an opposed player using VASSAL logs and such forth. So if you watched any of the prior episodes, and if you haven't, go and do so, because then this episode will make a bit more sense. So let's go down to the screen and see what's going on. Partway through turn 2. The object of the scenario is I'm playing the Prussians, Mark is playing the French, and we're fighting over this village. I mean, if I can get some units off this road, can't remember how many units, I think it was 3. But I mean, the aim for me is these star locations. That's an automatic victory. If I achieve it, great. If I don't, not so great. Anywho, so Bulau's had 2 activations, Blucher's had 1, and Persia's had none. And I think Mouton and the Guard have each had 1. So we're at that stage. So I'll be starting log files, ending log files and such forth, all in one sort of narrative, hopefully. Okay, so Mark does put a little description. So, hi, Aaron, the Guard stood like a rock, 1,200 veterans facing almost 4,500 Prussians with absolutely no fear, until a 12 was rolled. They hate 12s, mate. Yeah, he rolled a 12, which caused a rout. Cannot rally them. They have no leader on the field, and they won't listen to Mouton, the lion. No, the downside to the Imperial Guard. So the French can activate either formation now, as the Guard passed last time. Options are A, Mouton to rally, B, Mouton to fire and make any adjustments in his battle line, or C, the Guards activate, push back the last Prussian assault. I believe we'll use the Guard first. They haven't activated it yet because they passed. So no roll required, so it's straight into the offensive fire phase. So now it's highlighting who's firing and the target. He rolls a 6. Again, we're using an external dice resource by Warhorse Simulation on their axe system, because we both don't like VASSAL dice that much. No other offensive fire. He marks the hex as offensive, then he begins to do some movement. I move to there, having used 3 of their 5 movement points. Back to you for a decision. So I have an option here to retreat before that unit moves. Well, as that unit moves into that hex. So all right, so the Guard light troops see that numeric lines there, cavalry do not appear to withdraw upon the Guard's arrival. Movement, first Tyrrelliers, cannot move any further. Hold on. Sorry, excuse that. It was a sneeze. And he carries on. Next unit moving in. And it's the melee decoration phase. So back to the Prussians for potential countercharge and defensive fire. So that ends that log. So start a new log. No, we don't want to start one. We want to load one. And the next one is that one there. So we don't want to save the game. Hi, Mark. I think I'm going to try a countercharge. It's not something that I would normally try here, but why not? So the cavalry can do a countercharge because they're adjacent to a unit that is attacking somewhere else. But the hope is for this unit to divert these from attacking those, if that sort of makes sense. Though the cavalry itself, a little bit on the teeny side. But you never know. So they need to actually make a morale check to actually countercharge. So this one that's 6 or less. And it automatically counts as a flank attack. So need a 6 or less to go in. And I'll mention the rules. And it's prepared as well. So he doesn't get a shot on me either. So they go in, they have 4 SP double to 8 versus 17, 1 to 3. So he gets +3. Quality difference, he gets another +4. Upslope +1. You're in the open -1. Net +5. That's the maximum we can get is +5. So remembering low is good in this system. I might get a double 1. That's all I really need. Roll a 7. QFT2 at R on me. Roll a 5. So 1 over. So they must retreat a hex. So it didn't do anything other than show you guys how countercharge works. The hope there was minimal. However, it had worked. Those 2 units wouldn't have been able to assault into my Landwehr infantry. Having a slurp of good old British Yorkshire tea. So worth a try, but your old guard just stood their ground and went boo to my cavalry that fled into the woods. Now the defensive fire of the Landwehr infantry. So I'll show who's firing and where the target is. No modifiers. So roll a 9, no effect. So that ends that log. So no, and we're going to go to load game. And we're just done log 31. Open the game. No. And I'm going to. So, yeah, I thought it would be good for the narrative. The chasseurs are the lead unit. Chasseurs. Okay. I'm going with 17 strength points from the main hex and 10 from the supporting hex for 27 versus 17, or 3 to 2. -1. +/- quality differential for -5. 2,700 Imperial Guardsmen led by Regiment of the Old Guard form an assault column and approach the enormous Landwehr line. So roll is a 3, -5 is -2. QFT2 plus R plus a random event. Okay, he makes a mistake at this point. So a roll is a 7, no effect. The flags were very well protected. So he didn't capture a flag. Q2 roll is a 2, which means they stand. However, the mistake is, because his roll was a 3, which is -5, goes to a totally negative number, my actual unit is eliminated. So narrative stopping out right there. So clearing markers, I think at the beginning of the next video, he's placing his leader here, even though you can't use him, he's not actually there, just for reference purpose, so he can mark that he's had 1 activation. Okay, and back to me, where I will correct that error. So we're going in for log 32. I want to save the game. And I'm marked. This is going to hurt me more than hurt you. Yeah. As you roll a 3 with a -5 modifier, that's a net -2. That's an auto elimination. So your advance, I will text you. The response is he decides to advance them in. Okay, over to my stuff now. Trying to activate Von Perch. About time he got off his butt. I rolled a 9 for him, so he says no. So Blücher. No, I'd rather pass then. So I was going to activate Blücher, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to pass. Back to you. So no file. In log file. 33. Save. Let me pause. A little kerfuffle. I just got mixed up in my save files there, but found it right. So I passed it back to Mark because I didn't want to activate Blücher again. Van Bülow's already had 2 activations. So, hi Aaron, the French can pass or try to activate Mouton. We choose the latter, need a 9 or less. Or an 8, so Mouton activates. Looks like he's not doing any firing, just straight into movement. Mouton will use his special ability to rally. However, before that is attempted, his core units can move 1 hex. So every unit can move 1 hex. Meant to type that prior to the movement, but all units only moved 1 hex so far. So that is correct, they did. Okay, now for the rally attempt. Rollers are 2, all rallied. Yep. Lots of 2s, lots of 12s. Yeah. Back to me. No. File. Log. Right. Well, what we're going to do now? Let's see. Hi, Mark. In my best Monty Python voice, you lucky, lucky bastard. I'll try for Von Perch again. Need an 8. Roll a 6. Ooh, he gets off his butt. He's not going to do any firing. Charge! Let's get in there. Prepared, etc. In they go. Prepared charge is going to be half movement points or less. Just means they don't get a minus modifier. So I'm coming in. A slight take back. Maybe I'll revise something there slightly. Okay. You can see I'm bringing up on purchase units. Melee declarations. So just I think I'm taking them out of the hex just to get the bloody thing to turn around properly. Okay. Just sorting out with the counters. Onto his defensive fire. Hey, okay. Hello, Monsieur Steamroller. Yeah, in they come. Okay, defensive fire. So he shows which hex he's firing from and the target. The battery attempts to whittle down the large infantry brigade, although causing a rout amongst the Prussian hussars could have proven useful for their outpass. Still, we must attempt to even the odds. Defensive fire at -1, rolls a 7, reduced to 6 for a QFT. Their QFT is 7. Roll 6, they pass. Whoop, whoop. I actually pass a morale check. So at that point, I was running around the table and doing a lap of honor. Next up for the auxiliary battery versus the 9th. So again, highlighting the counters. At -1, they rolls an 8, one to a 7 for a QFT. QFT is 7, they roll an 8, they must retreat. I believe you'd want them there to lose space, yeah. If you fail the QFT by 1 or 2 and you're adjacent to an enemy unit, you must retreat. If you're not adjacent to an enemy unit, It's no further effect. If you roll 3 higher than a Q of T, you rout, irrelevant if you're adjacent to an enemy unit or not. Another slurp of tea, keep me going. And finally, that battery split fire. The battery fires at 2 infantry and the infantry at the West Landwehr battery. So he's splitting the fire between that hex and that hex, which is allowed to do. Security roll is a 5. Of course it is. QF2 plus 1 step. 2 infantry, QF7, rolls an 8, they retreat and lose a step. Back they go. Firing the infantry at Landwehr plus 1 split. Rolls 7, modified to 8, no effect. Oh, hey, I missed the op fire. He missed the op fire here to here. You should have done the op fire first, but it's okay. So they fail, retire 2 hexes. Oh, before I do that, I'll ask you a question. Is my op fire still out? I missed the phase. No, it's fine. I'll leave that to you. Cheers. Bye, internet. Take the mickey out of my normal call. Bye, internet. Right. So, file, game. Nope. I'm up. This is not a competition. So if it had been a competitive game, then I'd have said, no, you couldn't do it. But, so yes, it's allowed. So he manages to chase away most of my forces and cause quite significant casualties. Well, probably use a step down. Okay, so 23 versus 9. So the only assault still going in is over here. 23 versus 9. So it's 2 to 1, so it's -2 odds. Upslope, I'm attacking upslope. That adds 1 to the dice. Net -1. Roll of 4 becomes a 3. So that's actually quite a good roll. So it's a Q of T1 plus R and event. So event roll, 7, no effect. The Q of T1, so you always do the Q of T first. So he's looking at his morale 7. Roll 7, plus 1 is 8. So they must retreat. Now the reduction. So they all get reduced and they retreat. Now my advance. My cavalry must advance. I do ask the question, will he take the extra step? I'll pass back for your decision. Because he could take an extra step and not retreat. Log 37 now. Battered French cavalry opt to retreat. He's clearing all the markers. Northern shoulder is looking extremely tenuous, and Von Perch may break the French left very soon. Gulp. All right. The guard have a single activation remaining. They will take it. Okay, so there is a step we missed here. It's the pursuit. I should have made a roll for pursuit. We moved beyond that point. If they'd have failed that roll to pursue, they would have pursued and then had to engage both of those stacks. I.e., this unit would have had to engage those and those if they failed the pursuit roll, but we forgot about it. So as only as I'm playing this back, I'm going, oh yeah, pursuit. So even seasoned gamers in any system can forget things. So the guard have a single activation remaining. They will take it. We begin with offensive fire. So most of his guards down the bottom of the map there. Oh, there is a guard unit in that hex. Firing my cavalry. Third voltages, fire at third hussars at 0 DRM. Rolls an 8, no effect. The hussars are too quick. They're dashing around circles. Okay, old guard. No, they're not. They're first Torelliers. They're middle guard. Oh, young guard, aren't they? Yeah, young guard. 0 DRM. Rolls an 8, no effect. Movement. Old guard got to bolster up the northern front. Anyway, 3 hexes from Plancenoit. You can't move more than 3 hexes from Plancenoit. Other units gone to replace where the old guard were. So if anyone's seen the movie Waterloo, I think I've got him running around like a wet hen. Okay. Which ends that log file. What I keep doing. It's just a sequence of 4 buttons, Mr. Sibley. Come on. It's not that difficult. Okay, hi Mark. This is after the Blucher and French pass. We both pass at that point. Von Perch will try and activate again. Now, the reason why that is, you can't activate 2 commands straight after each other. I'd activated Von Perch. So it was down to Blucher for me, and I declared a pass. Going back to the French, he declared a pass because he's got no one left to activate. Back to me, then I can activate Von Perch because there have been passes. If there's 4 passes, the turn would have ended. He's an 8 and rolls a 7. Phew. No offensive fire because I've only got cavalry in the front there. In we go again. See if I get better fortune this time. Trying to hit. And declaring melees. You can see. Now, as just a quick look, under this hex here, there's the Grenadiers of the Old Guard, and I'm chucking a reduced infantry unit at them. The reduced 2nd Infantry Landwehr. The reason why I'm doing that is so that these guys can't opportunity fire into them. So effectively, I'm pinning them with a reduced bit of rubbish. Landwehr, but it stops them shooting. Is that mean? Absolutely. Do you for defensive fire and or retreat before combat? As he's got cavalry, he can retreat before combat. He's got cavalry here, yeah. So next log file. Right, higher, and the lancers and chasseurs cannot withstand the enormous Prussian assault columns and yell to their compatriots of the horse battery to limber up and get the hell out of there. They have to. His horse battery have to take a morale check if they retreat before combat. The battery roll of QFT is a 2. They managed to limber up. The force retreats 2 hexes, thus giving the Prussians a victory point star. Yay! Okay. A nice little bit of narrative there. But again, it was another snake eyes roll from Mark. I know you can't help the dice. They are what they are, but it does get a bit frustrating after a while. So, of course, my guys advance into there. But they can't engage any further. So, back to his defensive fire. That was just a very quick log. Defensive battery fires at 2nd Infantry. Regiment at -1 canister range. So this is here to here. Roll 9 modified to an 8. No effect. So what do you think? Do you think they're going to go in against them? Because say I had this stack and this stack against there, so there's no further melee. If it had been cavalry, all the cavalry would have had to advance in. As it was infantry, only one lead unit advances into the hex. So, no game. And go through. High mark. The 2nd Infantry declined to go in. I say the whole purpose was just to draw his fire. Therefore, there is no melee. Tidy up. You have nothing to activate and must pass. I will then try for Blucher. Rolls a 9 and fails. Back to you to pass. I will try Blucher again. Rolls a 5. Okay, does he rally? He will try and rally. He's a 6. Rolls a 7 and fails. That's it for the activation. End of turn phase. No strat moves, routes. French first. He only has 1 unit to route. That's the guard there. And there is no contagion. So in initial routes, you route 3 hexes, and any hexes of troops that of your own that you go through, they have to take a morale check. But in the route phase, there is no chance of that happening. So you can route through this stack on the road. And off they go. Some old young guard disappearing. Rolling through. Right, my routes. Guns off they go. Infantry off they go. Deactivated all leaders. Moving on to turn 3. 8 PM is here. And that is that. I will bring us back up. So that was the end of turn 2, going on to turn 3. We've actually done a fair few logs for turn 3, but I'll record that when I get to it. I hope you've enjoyed that. Any comments, much appreciated, and all the usual YouTube bollocks. You know what it is. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, well, fine. Until next time, bye, Internet.